Now let's look at what to do when you are given the circle instead of one side of the polygon, because sometimes they give you a circle that inscribe that polygon, what is it, that circumscribe that polygon, and then you are supposed to draw that polygon with the given radius or the given diameter of the circle. Now let's say, for example, so here we're going to start with the pentagon, right? Now let's say you are given the radius of say 35, and they say you're supposed to draw a pentagon inside that circle. Now this is what you do. You're gonna measure 35. I said every time you draw a circle, you are supposed to have the center lines. Right. Then you have your 35. And this, let me make it 40 so that it will be a bit visible. And there is the circle that you are given. I'm just gonna name this O, and then I'm gonna name that A, B, C, and D, right? Now, step number 1, you are going to bisect OB, right? OB. Remember, you can do it even on the other side, but for this video, let's focus on this side. You are going to bisect line OB. When you bisect a line, we said you open your compass to more than half, and then you draw 2 arcs from both ends, right? Just like that. And then you draw the perpendicular bisector. Yes, okay, let me just extend our center lines there so that there's an intersection right there. Right? Now, call the intersection between the perpendicular bisector and OB, you can call it E, right? Like that. Step number 2, take your compass, place it at E, right? And then you extend the pencil side to A, point A there, right? And then you draw an arc to intersect this line OD right there, right? And then you call that intersection F, right? And then this line right here, this length from A to F, A to F, it is the length of one side of your pentagon. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your compass, take that length, AF, like that, right? And then you mark your circle. 1, 2, then you finish off on the other side there. Like that. Now you join your pentagon. Like that. There you go. Nothing difficult, right? Okay. So I could talk about the hexagon, but then like I said, the hexagon is way too simple. I'm not really gonna waste my time to entertain that one, right? So from here, we're gonna move to the heptagon. How do you draw the heptagon? when you are given a circle instead of one side. My center line doesn't look good right there. Doesn't matter. This is very, very easy. Okay, let's say the side is also 40. What is it? The radius of the circle, sorry. The radius of the circle is 40 again. We have that circle, right? We're gonna name that O. Let's name that A, and let's name that B. Now, step number 1 for the heptagon. You take your compass, you place it at B, right there, right? And extend it to center O, right there. And then draw an arc like that. This, you're gonna call it C and call that D, right? Step number 2, you are going to join C to D. Like that. And call this intersection E, right? Now, line CE and ED are obviously going to be equal, right? Now, CE, it is the length of one side of your heptagon. Yes, the length of one side of your heptagon, CE. We said CE and ED are equal, so you can take CE or ED. And then you mark your circle like that. One there. You proceed, mark again. Proceed from that side, mark again, sorry. Mark again, proceed. I said you mark until you can't mark anymore. Continue. Can mark right there as well. Right, then you join. So what I'm really interested about, it is your constructions. I really need to see your constructions on the test. Like that. Like that. Now when you check, you find that that one is slightly bigger than that, but like I said, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter in this case. I'm only interested in how you got it, right? Now, like I said, octagon, hexagon, they are one of the easiest to draw, right? So I'm not going to entertain those. So we're going to move from the heptagon to the nonagon, right? Nonagon is 9 sides. Nonagon is 9 sides. Right. So to draw the nonagon, you're going to also okay. Right. So now let's say the circle that you were given has a radius of 40 again. Like that. We're gonna name that A, O, B, C. Let's call that D, right? Now, step number 1. Okay. You take your compass. You place your compass at point A. That's step number 1. Take your compass, you place it at point A, right? And extend it to the center. Center like that. And then you draw an arc like this, right? You can call that point E, right? Step number 2, take your compass, you place it at C, right there. And then you extend it to E, like that. Right? Let me just extend that center line so that there will be an intersection that we're looking for there, right? And then this, you can call it point number F, right? The following step, you take your compass, place it at F, right? And extend it to A, like that, right? And then after getting to A, you draw an arc like that. You can even draw it until it reaches C. It really doesn't matter. Like that. The intersection right there, we're gonna call it point G. Right? And then this space right here, DG, it is the length of one side of your nonagon. Then you measure CG, what is it, DG, like that, right? DG. And then with that DG, you are going to divide your circle into 9 equal sides. One, and then you continue. You mark until you can't mark anymore. Mark. Just like that. Now you draw. Join the arcs. Right there. That is your nonagon. Right. And then now to draw the decagon. These are the 4 I'm only going to entertain with this method. Yes. And then this circle, let's make it 45. I don't know if that will fit there. Will it fit? Let's try. Right. And then we're gonna name that A, B, C, D, and then O. Okay. Now your step number 1. This one is gonna get a little bit complicated. Oh, look at my compass right there. Just pay enough attention on this one. Okay. Step number 1 on this one. You are going to take your compass, you place it at C, right? That's step number 1. You extend that compass to A, yeah, like this. And then you draw an arc. So the compass moved like that. And then you take it to A like that. And then you draw an arc from C. Just like that, right? Now you can name this E if you wish to. Right. Now, the step that follows this one is you are going to divide this line right here into 10 equal parts, right? You divide this line into 10 equal parts, right? Now, line division, there is a method to divide the line. You draw a line there, like this. And then you can divide this line into 10 equal parts, right? And then the last point there, you're going to join it there, and then all the other lines are going to be parallel to that one, right? Let me just do that. Let's say I'm going to divide that into tens, right? I'll divide that into tens. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's 10. So maybe let me number that to simplify things. Yes. And then from there, you are going to draw first a line from 10 to C. Like that. Then all the other lines are supposed to be parallel to line C10. This is how you draw parallel lines. You're going to keep this fixed right there, and then you move this one to number 9. Draw number 8. Draw number 7. Draw just like that. Center. Continue. And the last one, oh, I can't get it there, so it means I need to move this. Then I fix this to one line there, like this. Align it with one line, then move it back to one, just like that. Now this would be divided into 10 equal parts. You can't just divide with a ruler this line, right? Because you will not get it right. Okay, right, so the following step, you are going to draw a line from E passing through point number 2, which is this one. Let's call it F. This one right here. Like I said, this one gets a bit complicated. You need to pay attention. You're going to draw a line from E passing through F and intersecting the circle on the other side, right? Like this. Right? And then this intersection right there, maybe let's call it G if we can. Now that point from A to G, it is the length of one side of your decagon, right? So you take your compass, place it at A, take it to G, right? Then you start dividing until you can't divide anymore. Divide, you circle, go to the other side. Right. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then put the last one there. There you go. Let's join and see. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So again, that one is slightly shorter than that one, but it really doesn't matter, right? Thank you very much.